Hey, Bayek, it's me, Ian. And in today's video, I'm continuing my look at classic Doctor Who. And now we've moved into the Fifth Doctor. And this is Castrovalva from 1982. Previously, we'd had Legopolis, which was the final story for the Fourth Doctor, the regeneration story. And after this story, it will be 4 to Doomsday. Now, this is season 19, and it's the first story from season 19. It's comprised of 4 episodes. These were transmitted from the 4th to the 12th of January 1982. It is in many ways an important change for the show, because it's now on 2 episodes per week, and it's been moved to Monday and Tuesday prime time slots. Ultimately, this is not a good move for the Doctor. Initially, it seems okay, but in a way, you can see that this is going to be a crucial moment, and ultimately it is. Now, the Fifth Doctor is considered, I think, a successful run of the show. This change is important. Now, it is written by Christopher H. Bidmead, who, of course, is the script editor previously, but it's a new season and we have got a change. The script editor is now Eric Saywood, and Eric Saywood would be I think a good scriptwriter, because his own particular stories we've seen are going to be The Visitation 1982, Shock 1982, which of course is wonderful, Resurrection of the Daleks 1984, and Revelation of the Daleks 1985. Those are stories that he wrote. So this is, I think, a key moment. Again, these changes are taking place. It's now moving into a new era, new time slot. And of course, it's still being produced by John Nathan Turner, and he's really bringing in the changes. Now, it is directed by Fiona Cumming, and she would direct Snake Dance 1983, Enlightenment 1983, which is a season 20 story, and Planet of Fire 1984, which is a season 21 story. Now, the music is, as usual, by Paddy Kingsland. The locations, we've got Harrison's Rocks again, which is near Groombridge, East Sussex, and we've got Buckhurst Park as well in East Sussex. Good locations. They're really important, I think, to the story. Let's go through the cast. We, of course, got Peter Davison as the Fifth Doctor. Then we've got Matthew Waterhouse as Adric, Sarah Sutton as Nissa, Janet Fielding as Tegan, and Anthony Ainley playing the Master. Brilliant as well. Love it. Now, in this story, we've got Michael Sherd, who plays Morgrave. Of course, Michael Sherd was in The Empire Strikes Back, 1980. He was, in terms of Doctor Who, he was in The Ark, 1966. He was in The Mind of Evil, 1971. Pyramids of Mars, of course, 1975. The Invisible Enemy, 1977. And Remembrance of the Daleks, 1988. Some great episodes that he was involved in. Then we have Derek Waring, who plays Shardanavan. Shardanavan is an important character in this story. And Derek Waring, well, he was in many TV series and TV films. He's got a whole wealth. If you look at his career, excellent. So it's always good to see an actor like this wanting to appear in Doctor Who, as they did. And Jonathan Nathan Turner, this was what he was good at doing, getting a lot of really good actors to appear in the show. Because a lot of people did. It was seen as a great thing to appear in the show. So, you're saying, my heck, what is this story about? Well, it is, of course, a regeneration story, because the Fifth Doctor is, well, recovering from his regeneration, and it's not going too well. There is a tradition that when the Doctor first regenerates, he's not quite himself. He's rather unstable. And Peter Davison plays on this beautifully. I have to admit his performance is great. We see him, his behaviour, and we see remnants of previous Doctors, and it's wonderful. I like what they've done there. It's a really good touch. So, this story, the component that we see mixed with the regeneration is that the Master has now captured Adric, and he's using Adric because through his mathematical genius, and what he's done is he's created Castrovalva, which is a town whose dimensions fold in on itself. And this is all through the Master's manipulation. It's the Master. Why does he do all this? Well, he just does, does he? He loves to do his evil deeds everywhere. And Anthony Ainley's still got this laughing villain. It's still very much a pantomime villain in many ways. Because some people, and I can understand that in many ways, though he's very good at this, you kind of still wish for the brilliance of Roger Delgado as the Master, who didn't play him as a pantomime villain at all. There's a very different take on the Master. And you kind of sometimes wish that. But hey, we've got this. And he's good at it. And Anthony Ainley is good at this job. So as the Doctor's regeneration is not going well, we have the Master manipulating all this going on. And the Doctor is looking to stabilise himself and the Zero Room, which unfortunately to jettison, as you do, and they have to build this like um, cabinet for him to go inside. And then once he's in there, he'll stabilise and he'll be back to the normal Doctor. And so that is the sort of what we've got going on. And how the companions now have to cope with all this is interesting. I think one thing that you see is that Tegan is already quite dominant in many ways. And that's how she is as a character. And I know she has very mixed reactions, I think, as a character. But I think she's quite good in this role, really. She, as a companion has to kind of research, sort of push themselves forward in many ways, and hopefully they get in the scripts to be able to do that. And the problem, of course, is what people are going to point out. Now we've got 3 companions, and how are we going to get all that? And I think that is a problem that the writers always have a look at. But we should always remember that, because Doctor Who had 3 companions right at the beginning, and it worked well then. But it's always, I think, a problem with the scripts writers. How are they going to put 3 companions in? And we see, for instance, in this, how Adric, for instance, is trapped and separated. So he doesn't really have much to do in that sense. So they concentrate on the other 2. But certainly Tegan, I think, dominates already in the terms of the companions. And she's very good at this. Though at the time, I don't think a lot of fans were that keen on her, to be honest. But I think she's a good character needed in that mix-up, I think. And she adds a lot to it. So this story, I think, works. It works well. And we get to see the usual Doctor, going through all this regeneration problems. And it ends quite good, I think. And the Doctor is back. He's going to then go on. He's stabilised, and we move into the next new adventures to look forward to. This is a good story, I think. The concepts involved are good. And I think the important thing is the production. Again, it does such a good job. I like the way they've produced Castrovalva. You imagine, again, they've got very limited resources. And what they do is they produce some great effects on those limited resources, which kind of makes Castrovalva look bigger than it probably is in terms of what they were filming. And it works well. I like the story in that it's a story that's trying something perhaps a bit different, trying to expand, and yet they have a very limited budget, and they've done this well. So I think this is a good introduction for the 5th Doctor. So, that's it. I've probably gone on far too long, but before I go, I'd just like to show you. This is the DVD. There it is. Some nice extras again on this. Inside, look at this inside. Brilliant. Yeah, and this. Nice little leaflet always. That looks good, doesn't it? Fantastic. Love these DVDs. So that comes from this New Beginnings box set. Which has been really good. Fantastic. And then I got a Blu-ray release. And of course it is Season 19 in the Doctor Who collection. Wow, look at that. Wow. Fantastic. Then there on the back, a lot of nice extras as well. Just Absolutely wonderful. This was released 2018. Absolutely wonderful. What else can I say? Anyhow, I think I've been going on far too long. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and we'll let you know when I put out these videos. And you can look in the playlist and you'll see all the previous reviews I've done of Doctor Who, but I do a lot more films and TV shows and also a bit of music. You see all that in the playlist, hopefully. And if you have any comments, please put your comments down. I love to read your comments. I'll always reply to them. And of course, if you do like this video, please give this a like. If you give it a like, it gets it onto YouTube so other people might enjoy it. And that's it. I've gone on far too long. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.